Hello traders, I hope all of you are okay. Welcome back to the channel with another video. We're gonna be dealing with this week's analysis, um, what we look forward to, and I hope you guys are gonna learn a thing or two. So I'm gonna make this as quick as possible so that you guys may understand what we expect this week. So with me here, I've got a dollar index. So the dollar index, like I said before, is what we can use in order for us to see where USD pairs are actually going. So in this case right here, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very clear. Now, let's take for instance, maybe you wanna mark your market structure just to see where the market is going and what you want to see happening. So with my market right here, I've got my low down there, and then I've got my high up there, and then in between right here, I've got price ranging. So as you can see, price was ranging all through here before it validated a low, and this low was validated by breaking this high right here. So if we move to our next point of structure, you'll find it's gonna be a high up there, which we're gonna get in a minute. So this is our low, and our structure got broken here, and then the market marked a high and then marked a low. Now this is in between those 2 points, so it is still within the market structure. And after that, then the market marked that high and has given us a low, which this point and that point are still the same area. So what do we want to see? We want to see the market mark a new high. All right, so we want to see the market mark a new high. So drawing this, we have something that looks like this. So this is how the market has been moving, and this is what we expect to see. So now this is data from the monthly time frame, and so this is with um about a lot of years, I think, because it's from 2008 all through to the current time that we are in. But the reason why I was saying this is going to be simple is because the market has already made a move. If you look at the recent data that you have here, you can actually see that the market has made a move. So this move right here, which then signifies that now we are on the move, and we now want to see some pullbacks along the way as we go up there. But again, as I always say, this is the monthly time frame. It doesn't make sense for you to make trading decision basing on a time frame this big. So it's gonna take you a while. um so we need to go to lower time frames to see what they're saying. So now, because we're gonna go to the lower time frames, it means we will then focus on the part from those 2 points right there, or in this case, if you want, you can also focus on these 2 points, but it's going to be a lot of data, so I want to keep this as clean as possible. But if you are marking the market structure, you generally say you've got a low, all right, and then you also have got a high. So what you're looking for is the market in the range, and you want to see the market breaking either the high or the low for you to know what direction the market is going. So now let's move to the weekly time frame and see what we have. So from the weekly time frame, the dollar index has been buying for quite a while, and the market has been ranging. As you can see, it has been doing same lows and same highs. So this has been happening for quite a long time, which I'm very happy, because now we've managed to somehow break out of this zone and close outside. So I'm actually expecting that in the coming days or weeks, we probably maybe come and test this area before we go up. For those who follow price action, you then know why we are testing outside that zone, uh, and then go up. This is all support and resistance. But again, this is not the only thing that we need in terms of finding out what the market is gonna do. But this being our area, of course, we've been trading this all along because it's a higher time frame, the W1. So if you go down to the 1 hour time frame, you'll find there's so many opportunities for you to trade here. So now the market is all bullish. You can actually see from the monthly time frame and the weekly time frame, the market is bullish, and that is one thing that we actually kind of need to respect. All right, so now this being the case, I'll also highlight that if you're an ICT trader, you definitely understand that you've got a higher time frame fair value gap right here. So you kind of want the market to trade into that fair value gap before it comes back to retest that area and then go back up from what we're expecting. So you kind of want the market to start by buying before selling, and then from there then it can sell up to that point right there. But all this will be visible also from the lower time frames. All right, so now this being the case, we go to the D1. Now from the D1, all we can see is a peak formation that was formed. The W right here, you remember where I said the market has been hitting highs and lows already? You can see there's a nice W right there, which is a peak formation, and it is also a low on the monthly time frame. All right, so this being the case, if you want to mark your levels on D1, well, this will tell you that you already probably have a first level, a pullback, and now you have a second level, and you want a pullback and a third level. So now that explains why we were saying we're probably gonna retest this place before we go up. So now again, I count my levels from smaller time frames for me to know where exactly we are and when this will happen. All right, so now after that, from the D1 time frame, we can see already two levels, and this second level, we don't know whether it is finished or not. The smaller time frames are going to give us a little bit of information on that. All right, so going to the 4-hour time frame, so we know from D1 the market is still bullish. All right, so from the 4-hour time frame, we get again a lot more data. In this case, we've got that peak formation a little bit expanded because the market spent quite a number of days there before it started buying. And now, this being the case, we see the market moved fairly high up, and I believe these are three levels of H4. If you really want to count them, I'm pretty sure you'll find three levels of H4 here, and this being our point of peak formation, and then a reset point and a restart of the same cycle going to the upside. All right, so a restart of the second level. So now what we want to see is whether this restart of the second level is actually 9 levels, to then say, yeah, we've got 3 complete levels. All right, so we're gonna draw a line at this point, because remember, as you go lower down the time frames, you keep on reducing the amount of data that you have. So now we're starting from here going forward, because we know everything is bullish. So now we want to understand if the lower time frames are aligned to that. So even H4 does show us that it is bullish. Now all we want to find out is whether we've got 9 levels already here. All right, so here we go. And this is the point where we said we've got a reset. And looking at this, I don't really think we've got 9 levels in this case already, because this was our first push to the upside, and this being probably our second push to the upside. The reason why I did not mark this point here is because it is basically equal to that point, though there is just a few pips difference, but I don't really see any significant move here. So that's why I marked all of this as one move. All right, because this was caused by the big move that happened here. So they wanted to take quite a few days moving the market slowly in the intended direction. Now, after that, then it means our last level becomes this one. So in this case, what we have is 3 levels on H1, which then translates to 1 level on H4. All right. Now, what we have here is the market forming a peak formation, and then after a peak formation, the market then formed a reset. All right, so again, you can still print out your market structure if you want in this in these lower time frames, but then you're gonna have a lot of noise. But if you want, you can print your market structure. So if you look at this point right here where you are, you can clearly see how the market formed a high there, and then these were the previous lows, and they got broken. And after these previous lows got broken, now you could tell that the market was now a sell, and then only until the point where this high got broken right here to then confirm that the market was now back into an uptrend. And now if you're a BTMM trader, then you definitely understand resets and all those kind of things. So you would have seen this unfolding. So in this instance, then this becomes our low, that becomes our high. Probably this is our low, and that becomes our high. Or maybe this is too small to put as a pullback. So you can actually even ignore this and just go straight to your high. All right. So all of these things are subjective, depending with what you understand best. So that is what I'll actually prefer you do. Now, this being the case, again, we want to count our levels from this point and see how many levels we are. All right. So now here is a little bit different. We've got our first level, and then we've got our second level, and then lastly we've got our third level. So what do I expect to see with this market? I am actually expecting the market to actually sell down, and in this case probably maybe to the 50 EMA or the 200, but the 200 is a little bit too far. So I'm trying to be optimistic and thinking maybe the 50 EMA is what's, you know, reachable and reasonable as well. So I would expect a reset there, and then a continuation of the market to the upside, 3 more levels before we can expect a reversal. Now, where are we going? Up there. Remember what I said from the higher time frames. So from the higher time frames, we said we've got a fair value gap. So if you look at the monthly time frame, this fair value gap is slightly bigger, and we've already traded into it, so it might be a little bit misleading. But if you look at the one from the weekly time frame, you can tell that it will definitely make sense if price were to trade into that fair value gap. So if we go back to maybe let's see on D1 if it simplifies it even further. From D1, it's from D1, there's actually a fair value gap that I'm seeing in the same fair value gap, which is obviously somewhere right there, though not convincing a little bit, but I do see a fair value gap right there. So if we go to H1, you then realize why I was saying we expect a reset, and then we want to see the market trade into that area, then that area being a key area. So if the market gives us, say, level 3 into level 1, level 2, and level 3, then if we can form a peak formation at that point, only then would we expect a reversal. So the reversal is going to come this week, but it's not going to be that much. Now, this being said, it simply means on Euro USD and GBP USD, it's going to be a reverse of what I've just said. All right, it's going to be a reverse. So if you look at, say, pound USD, you'll find that pound USD, sorry, I was already doing some analysis 2 days back. So pound USD, my expectation is that we are going to buy. We are going to probably sell on Monday and then form a low and buy back into the zone before we can sell off. So it's an opposite of what we got on the dollar index. So if you look at the higher time frame again, it's more or less the same thing with what you are seeing on the dollar index, but just in reverse. All right, let me just get all this off so you can appreciate what I'm talking about. So from W1, this is all that you have, and the market, well, key levels again has traded into an order block. I don't know how strong this order block is, and I don't want to base anything to it, but this is where price is. This is where they decided to close the market, and all these things are not coincidences. So there are things you need to kind of pay attention to. So, but that is what we can see from uh, that level. Now, again, if you look on the left hand side, you find this market has been bullish for quite a while, until to a point where it started breaking structures going down. So it has broken about 3 structures going down. So it is high time this price trades into the range before it can go down. So it's high time it trades into the range. So this is my expectation, that we want to see a pullback. But again, expecting pullbacks does not mean when you see a small W, you just jump in the market. This is one thing, that the mistake that we do, thinking, oh yeah, I've just seen a small W, then you just jump in the market. The reason why this will trade back into the range is it's trading a higher time frame, so it's a pullback. So that pullback on its own should have a proper peak formation. So that means smaller time frames should actually give you a proper peak formation. It can't just be a V like this on a 1 hour time frame or a 4 hour time frame. It needs to be a proper W, and then trade into the range, a proper M, and then trade away from the range. So you need to wait for those things to appear. Don't just jump into the market and then expect miracles. So it needs to be a proper peak formation. That is why I always say counting your levels is important. So now, this being the case, you can see how the market is already bearish, because we are going against what the dollar index is actually doing. And again, you said we are at a critical level. You can see even from the D1 right here, you can tell we are at an order block as well, so a critical level 2. So it's really a point of interest, and we want to see the market trade back. Now, it's up to you if you want to see how far this will go. Maybe say if you take the whole thing and you become too ambitious, you'll find that probably your expectation or my expectation is that the market can go to the 38.2 level there before it can start going down. The reason why I'm saying that, it's because I'm expecting the market to give a reset at a 200 EMA. So if we are going to be resetting, say, a D1 time frame or a 4 hour time frame, I'm expecting the market to go around those zones. So that means I see a strong buy, but that buy is going to be just for a few weeks. And this again, it's going to close off the year before we can expect a lot of sales in the coming year. But that is what I want to see happening on GBP USD. So again, you go to the 4-hour time frame and you can see a significant um, change. Again, you can see how the market is actually showing you reversal pattern right here, and the market is showing you how it is starting to change its direction. And for us to then say yes, the market is actually now going in the direction that we want to see the market actually pull to the low, back to this low, and then um, move up. So that means if that's going to happen, then the market has to break that part there. So after that has happened, the market is supposed to come back down, maybe as an ID50 or as a retest of the neckline, or those who trade ICT, probably there is an order block in this point right here, whichever it is. You want to see your market coming back before it can go up. All right. So if that doesn't happen, it simply means there is no opportunity. So maybe, for example, let's just assume this is your neckline candle. So this is what you'll be expecting. All right. So this is what you'll be expecting. So you want to see on Monday, the market selling back to the low. All right. Back to the low. Whether they are going to break the law or they are going to trade above it, that's another story. But my emphasis is that you need to see them come back here, number one. Number two, do not attempt to take a trade until and unless you can see that the W is being formed. Or let's say they come down here and they come at the bottom here and actually form a W from smaller time frames. All right, so this V becomes a W from smaller time frames. Say from the 15 minutes time frame, they actually give you a W. If that is the case, then no problem. I would really expect and appreciate that. Yeah, take that buy. But if it is just a V, I would suspect you wait for them to take out that neckline, then come back, then you can take the trade. But keep in mind, whatever GBP USD is going to do is the opposite of what the other time frames are actually doing. The dollar index, sorry, is actually doing. So it's going to be the opposite of what the dollar index is doing. And Euro USD has to do this very same thing. All right, so this is what's happening with USD pairs from the way I'm seeing it. So again, as I always say, the fact that you have analyzed um, the USD pairs like this, for example, the fact that you have analyzed the dollar index, so that means you now know what all USD pairs are going to do. All right. Now, the fact that you analyzed GU, it means you now know what all GBP pairs will do. And you now know what all USD pairs will do. All right. So now, since you now know what USD card will do, then you now know what all card pairs are going to do. So that's how you actually analyze the market. So just by doing this and maybe one of the USD pairs to confirm, you already know what other pairs are actually going to do, and it becomes so easy for you to know all pairs. Now then you can go individually to those pairs and start to look at them to see what they are going to do, but already you know the expectation. All right. So for those who are not aware, the dollar index, when it is buying, USD CHF or USD CHF will be buying as well. USD CAD should buy. EU should sell. GU should sell. All right. So XXX USD will be the opposite, will be opposite dollar index, and then USD XXX will actually go in the direction of where the dollar index is going. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you gained some valuable information on this one. I'll meet you on the next one.